Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Adrian, your quantum love coach, greeting you from beautiful New Zealand. I'm still in Waiheke Island in Palm Beach here in this beautiful retreat villa, which I have the privilege to stay in. And the beach is in front of me and the ocean. And lucky we had a very beautiful sunny day today. And it's heading towards the end of April. And it feels like, you know, we are still given some treasureful and beautiful days to enjoy, you know, that late summery, autumny weather and the atmosphere outside. So while we are in lockdown and it's so hard to sustain a sense of, you know, grounding and comfort in our four walls, particularly when we are not by ourselves and live with other people. And this video is really addressing the needs of those individuals and couples living together and find it really hard, find them, you know, potentially on a break point, on a bottleneck point, to not know, you know, while they're sitting on the fence, not knowing what will actually happen in the next days and weeks when this whole situation starts to ease itself and people can start to look outwardly more again and find a sense of permission to see the world from a different angle. Now, relationships are tested, that's no doubt. And this video is really covering this whole spectrum of, you know, how can we now sustain ourselves and serve through these layers of particular understandings we have already created with each other. For some, it's potentially already decided that this is it. For others, it might have created an absolute outstanding, beautiful opportunity to recreate harmony and romance and deep intimacy in their relationship. So whatever it is for you, I want to present 7 S's, 7 letter S's, which help you to dive and ultimately serve on the surface of your situation and making it, you know, not breaking it, not faking it. No, you make it. I want you to make it. And even if decisions for change are made in the process, I would like you to feel empowered and really, really, you know, understanding, conscious about certain things that still can be addressed, you know, before physical changes are brought into action and into actualization. The first point I want to bring into awareness is just self-responsibility. A lot I talked with people over the last weeks about this intrinsic feeling that we are helpless and that we are some sort of, you know, what's the word? We are dependent or affected by the situation. And yes, we are to a big, big extent, but there is this other side where we can take our life in our hand and say, hey, this is me, this is the choices I make. And even in this very restricted, you know, quarter and quantum field of opportunities, I expand myself really, really, really well. And that brings me straight to the communication, the saying what and how I and you feel, giving each other the opportunity to express ourselves while there is made space for true listening, for that empathetic listening that really, really engages our emotions more than really just, you know, the ears and the eyes and potentially the emotional body, but it's the feeling body that gets engaged and really, really wants to be more listened to. And, you know, we always want to see the world as a whole. So number 3 is seeing the bigger picture, because when we sit there and receive and give and reflect, and we suddenly understand we are not alone. There is a bigger quantum field of wonderful, you know, human beings and other beings and nature and animal kingdom around us having their very own experience in this wonderful time that is given to us to go more internal and reconsider and engage and also, you know, recreate a reality that maybe has been in some way got lost over time. Seek communication outside your bubble. That is number 4. Really go outside sometimes and think about these people. You could some sort of call on the phone, you know, while you're walking along, you know, your street along in the village or in the suburb you're living in, or if you have the luck being close to a beach or to a park or to a forest. So just take your phone out, say, hey friend, I want to express myself. I need someone I have a conversation with. It's, you know, hard in there. It's uncomfortable. I'm emotionally affected by what's going on. Can I express myself, and are you willing to listen? And the same, you know, privilege should be given to that same person. You know, I spoke in a video 5 weeks ago when we were preparing for this situation of lockdown. I said, create a lockdown, you know, a buddy, have a lockdown buddy outside your, you know, your bubble, a coronavirus, you know, partner in crime who is able to, you know, have these conversations with you that are really, really important to have, not as family, not as partner, not as mother or father. It's really important. It's someone you trust outside your closest arena. Number 5 is support others in listening. I said this before when I talked about communication, but this is not just the listening, it's also the assertiveness that comes with this listening, because sometimes we make decisions that we think we need to respond and react to a situation. And I think reactivity is a very, very big word at this moment we need to be aware of. I think the awareness coming back to the assertiveness we apply within ourselves and saying, hey, stop, here's a boundary. I'm not going any further. I don't let this emotion or this particular issue come in any way closer to me than I'm absolutely responsible for. Of course, if it's to do something with the interaction and the interpersonal connection with this being, we need to be willing to address the things in you know, in good timing. But here is an opportunity to set us a little bit up for a new way of, while we are close with one another, to hold stronger spaces and lines in where we give each other, you know, this you know, this space to communicate and to exist very, very uniquely and adequately. Number 6 is search the hero within yourself. And I was saying this in media interviews twice in the last 2 weeks. And I also expressed it to a lot of clients and friends and family, you know, be the best you possibly can be. And it's said more and more and more, so many experts speaking about, you know, being in integrity and being in support and collaboration with each other, that is, you know, being the best version of yourself, being the best version of myself, oneself, is really, really, really powerful right now. And that can be established in a very, very, very graceful way, so that we just feel how we actually, you know, control, you know, our thoughts that maybe slip into a kind of an, again, reactive behavior, or into an unconscious behavior that ultimately does not, you know, honor us and doesn't suit, you know, the situation and the surrounding and the people around us. And last not least, number 7, settle in the comfort of knowing that everything is possible, and also everything has a kind of moment of transition. This will end one day. We will come maybe never ever again to the same situation we have been before. And I mean, a lot of people speak about this. It's actually a real invitation for staying in this awareness, staying in this very considerate, conscious and kind and human, you know, intelligent way of interacting and giving back to the world and making others' needs really, really a priority. And that brings me to what my work is all about. I, as a love coach, when you start having a conversation with me, ultimately, if I have a discovery conversation, I will always come pretty quickly to the nominator of which one of the core needs human beings extensionally have in their wiring, in their being, in their personality is not met. And then we assess, what is the situation? Is it something that is just current, or is it a life pattern? And then maybe we come to a bigger conversation of how this affects not just your love life, but also other areas of your life. And then very quickly, we might find a wonderful conversation about the reality that healing your love life and being involved in the work with a love coach like I am, and the opportunity to offer you a beautiful healing path that gives you the opportunity to go back in time and assess certain what I call cauldrons of time frames in your evolution that might have, unconscious and subconscious attachments and conditionings that are ultimately not useful and not resourceful anymore at this point of time. So if you feel interested in, having this conversation with me, or if you really right now are in a situation that it's hard where you are, the relationship you are in is potentially, sitting on a point of, not really sure whether you make it or break it, reach out. The online URLs are in the description box below. You can go on my homepage and book a 30 minutes gift. I want to give to you a discovery session that helps us to assess, what is really going on and what are your needs at this very time, and in a bigger picture, potentially even for the person you live with and the person you love. And if you're single, same way, there's a lot of, anxiety, insecurity, and also, hope and unfulfilled, emotions that are in the space, and how to deal with them, and how to also date in this situation carefully, responsibly, and with a kind of a future mind that holds this bubble for romantic feelings still alive. And I know this is not even, an easy thing to plan right now, because we really don't know dates when people are officially allowed to meet each other socially again. But while we are here in this wonderful evolutionary, transformational space, giving each other the opportunity to learn from each other and reflect back and mirroring each other's inner ways of seeing the world, I think it's a wonderful time to do a lot of inner learning and create and develop some know-how to how will I make it better when time is right, when I'm ready to date again. And also, how about if I am with my partner right now and I have forgotten how dating actually operates and goes, then maybe even if it's very late in the journey of lockdown, because we're nearly about to, have some release of very strict recommendations here, but I would say, take, your beautiful partner, on a walk, or arrange a dinner with candlelight at home, or make something special that is usually not in your very ordinary daily routine, so that there is an awareness that you actually deeply and creatively care for each other. I wish you all the best, and I hope that we connect. And for now, I'm your quantum love coach, Adrian Hartigan von Strauch, and I look very much forward to a journey of seeing what this situation we all are in right now will, bring to us, and what changes will happen, and how it hopefully, and not just hopefully, certainly will make us a much more evolved and conscious and healthier people in our heart, minds and souls. Thank you so very much. Namaste, and I see you very soon again.